You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
What up, Ron?
It is winter in South Florida.
Yeah, we're both sporting our hoodies. So, interesting, if you guys are watching, which you should be watching, Ronnie delivered to me today.
Well, I didn't deliver it.
You handed it to me. So technically you delivered it.
Sure.
Ooh, am I you now? Why don't you tell about this awesome fucking hoodie? Awesome.
Well, if you guys know the TikTok and Instagram Hamsa Club, they're like a Jewish lifestyle brand that has done a lot with raising awareness about all the anti-Semitism that's been going on. And, since October 7th, they've been very pro-Israel and taken that stance on social media, as have we. And so they reached out to us and were like, we love what you guys are doing. Can we send you some of our stuff? So their like latest brand slogan, whatever, is based off Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is like a quintessential Jewish show that people love.
Which great show.
But it's Curb Your Anti-Semitism.
I love it.
And so Dad's wearing it.
It's a navy blue with the gold lettering. Looks like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it's really cool. I really like it. It's comfy. I'm going to wear it with fucking pride.
As you should.
And you're sporting a very cool sweatshirt as well.
I'm wearing a Ole Miss Rebels football.
Directly from Lane Kiffin himself.
Handed it to me from his office. I actually think it has not been, I think it should have been washed, because I saw today there was a little stain on it. I was like, I probably should have washed this before I put it on.
No, Lane Kiffin, the coach, is a friend of mine. And we went to a game, a week and a half ago?
2-3 weeks ago?
No more than 2, I think.
Yeah.
So we flew out. We went to the game. He treated us great. Shout out to Lane. Appreciate all the hospitality. You and your girlfriend and everybody else there.
And the whole Ole Miss
and it was a fun day. And he
association
took the sweatshirt, gave her out of his office, and handed it. And Bronson sporting it with pride and good stuff. So
yeah, never in my life would I have thought I would wear an Ole Miss football sweatshirt or even go to an Ole Miss football game. But
me neither. But you know what?
Life is full of surprises.
We got to support our friends. It was a great event and good stuff. So we're both comfy, cozy, freezing. I couldn't even put my top down on my convertible today. That's suffering. I
couldn't even put the top down to my Porsche 911. That's suffering.
That's suffering. I'm telling you, I couldn't.
Driving 2 miles to the office that I own and my company that I own in the car, in my beautiful sports car. So the top couldn't go down. That's torture.
He just went ahead and just texted me and said, just gave you a shout out.
Oh, Lane.
Yeah. So 1 second. So here's the deal. Sorry guys.
He may not be allowed to be associated with this podcast from the school. Not every single person at Ole Miss, every student and administration is probably a fan of this podcast.
Too late now. So what happened was, even first of all, it's not 2 miles, it's 4 miles from the house. But here's a problem. The government's a fucking joke, right? You know my thoughts on that.
Oh, really?
So they do this interchange.
Oh, don't even get me fucking started.
No, Bronson, you don't.
You're talking about Glades?
Yeah, no, you don't. I do it every fucking day, twice a day.
Okay, so to give context, because you just said something that 98% of people don't know what you're talking about.
We're going to go into it, but I'd rather you start. Go ahead.
So the main exit, where we live,
95.
Where we live is Boca Raton, Florida, and the main highway is I-95. A lot of you probably know of I-95, but the exit that gets you into the town that we live in is Glades Road.
It's a main road.
It's a big road. The lane, it's like 4 lanes on each way.
But never an issue. I do. Okay.
So ever since I've been born, it was just a normal, you would get off the highway and you would merge right. Like you would make a right. If you were going right, you'd wait at a right and then you would make a left. Like every
East
other
or west,
highway.
You make a right or left. Exactly.
Every single other highway exit in the entire country, probably the world.
Zero issues.
Right.
And I take that every day for 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody knows Glades and 95 better than me. Would you agree?
Yep.
Every fucking day I do it.
You do that. You cross that road at least 5 times a day.
Correct. And on my way home, no matter what time I leave, and I don't leave at 5, I usually leave at 7, whatever it is. It normally would take me 4 miles to get home, 10 to 12 minutes max.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I come out of the fucking.
Well, so what they did a year ago,
yeah.
No one asked for it. No one even thought there was a problem with the way that you would get off the highway to get onto Glades Road from I-95 in Boca. There was never even a thought on anyone's mind. But the city of Boca Raton, I guess, had money to burn. I don't know what or needed jobs to spend.
Dan told me they call it
the Diamond Exchange.
Yeah, Diamond Exchange.
And there was
better
science.
for ingress and egress off of 95, which is impossible because I've taken it and I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, you think you're going the opposite direction.
Well, so there was like scientific. This is how they proposed it to the city. They were like, there's scientific research that analyze traffic patterns.
There's no way.
Instead of doing just you get off and then you make a right or a left, there's a diamond exchange where you literally go like, it's like a figure eight is how I picture it.
So when you get off the exit, if you're going on they make
you go on the opposite side of the road.
Correct.
So you come from the normal side of the road. So if you're driving right on the right,
it's like an X.
If you're driving on the right, they make you switch. So now you're driving on the left, and there are cars on the right of you
that are waiting.
It's and then you get back to driving on the right.
There's no way it's better.
There's just no purpose. Instead of a straight line, now it's a figure eight that all the cars are having to do. And there's 75 million signs saying wrong way, don't go this way, because no one knows the right way to go.
So now I get triggered easily on fucking.
Oh, me too. I feel very passionate about the Glades exchange.
Every day I get triggered. Yeah. That's the problem. Every day now for the rest of my fucking life, I get fucking triggered.
And it slowed everything down because people, even me, I've done it multiple times and I'm still like, wait, what the fuck? Wait, which am I going? Am I going the wrong way? Am I going across traffic?
But listen, it takes me now 30 minutes to go 4 miles.
Think about an old person driving on that. They would be completely confused.
15 minutes just to get over the overpass. 15 minutes. And you have to go in the far right lane, go around everybody, which is like a major accident. And then you got to shoot over to the left right when you get over the fucking overpass. Yeah. It is so bad. I've almost thought about going postal, walking into fucking town hall or the mayor's office and fucking going postal.
We know the mayor.
We can't change it.
Or at least I know him.
We can't change it. There's nothing we could do. They're not going to go back.
They're not going to go back. They might if it's so bad. If enough people say.
It is so bad. It's a 30-minute fucking ride from me now to
that was never a problem. That's the thing. It's not like people were like, oh, fuck, Glades is so annoying. No, it was never. It triggers me so much. It's just so inefficient.
Use it? I use it all the time.
No, but you right, but we can both equally be triggered.
But imagine every day.
Oh, I just wouldn't do it. I would.
And then I
would sell my office and I would move to a different office building on this side of Glades.
Let's wait and see if Biden gets in because we might move out of the state or
on this side of 95, I should say.
Fuck, no, I don't want to be on the other side of 95. This is the side you want to be on. Oh, you move the office.
Right, on this side of 95. On the east of 95, not west of 95.
Yeah, problem.
East side.
All right, what's going on, Bronny?
Nothing. We're recording this a few days early because when this comes out, I'll be in the thick of finals, so I don't want to do it then. So wish me luck, I guess.
Good luck, Bronny.
If you're listening, I'm taking one tomorrow.
Bronny. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
So tell me about any new developments on the Israel thing.
New developments are there have been 70 hostages released so far.
Yeah, but we've
out of 200.
We've given all and whatever. Yeah.
They said they were going to do like a ceasefire for the hostage release, but there have still been like bombs coming in.
They're bombing.
Right.
We're not. They are.
Not that I know of, at least.
Right.
Yeah. And I like I'm sure it's not a complete like ceasefire. I don't think Israel would be stupid enough to be like, okay, we're going to stop everything.
Like they have
in the heart of war.
They have a 10-month-old baby hostage. I was watching this morning. We've released major terrorist prisoners for hostages.
Yeah. Well, that's why they took hostages.
I know that.
Yeah.
But it's whatever, the whole fucking thing. I mean, again, just destroy it and be done with it, move on.
No, I don't think that's the solution because then they're going to be like, then just destroy the Jews and move on. Like the whole world will get behind that.
I don't care. I'm over it.
No, but then you literally will be over because you'll be dead.
Then I'll be dead.
I know, but that's not the right attitude.
Always gonna. It's not the right attitude. This is not going to end. It's not going to end. The anti-Semitism. It's not going to end. It's going to get
but eradicating a people will not end the anti-Semitism.
No, eradicate all of Hamas.
Yeah, but how do you do that?
I don't know.
Don't you think that's the problem? Is like, okay, Hamas is made up of just the people in Palestine, right? So like those people have sons, nieces and nephews, grandchildren, all that stuff, cousins, right?
Giving them weeks to get out of there.
Like let's say you're in a terrorist organization, you're going to work every day as a terrorist, and they kill someone kills you. You don't think that's going to radicalize me? So it's like, sure, you might have gotten rid of Hamas, but you're just creating new members.
You still got to get. It doesn't matter. You
But
still
no,
gotta get,
but it's the term is Sisyphean task. Every time you do one thing, it's moot because.
Can you spell that term?
Well, do you know like the myth of Sisyphus?
No.
So Sisyphus in Greek mythology was a titan, I guess. I don't remember. No, he was a human, and he did something. No, because Prometheus got his. You've heard of Prometheus. Prometheus was a titan who stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans, and then the gods punished him by he's tied to a rock, and every morning at sunrise, an eagle comes, pecks out his liver. And then leaves, and then the liver regrows overnight, and then the next morning the same thing happens again for eternity. That's Prometheus. Sisyphus was a human that did something wrong, and so the gods punished him by making him roll a boulder up the hill every day, and then once he got to the top of the hill, the boulder would fall down to the bottom, and then he had to walk to the bottom, do it all over again. So a Sisyphean task is like
better than your liver being eaten.
yeah, but a Sisyphean task is something that like you have to work hard at. But right when you finish, it doesn't matter because what you're doing is starting over from the top. There's no end in sight. Okay. And with Hamas, there truly is no end. If we kill every single member of Hamas tomorrow, magically we create some AI that whatever can just pinpoint boom, 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 like the Iron Man missile, kills just them.
You're so funny.
Tomorrow we're just gonna have new members that are their sons, their nephews, their fathers. Like they're going to be the ones that wake up and say, "Oh, Israel killed my son. I'm starting Hamas again now." Like, so there's nothing we can do. I don't know what the answer is. We tried to do it with Al Qaeda and ISIS. They're still around, very much so. Al Qaeda is quite literally running a country now that we had to flee from. So it's like we can kill a lot. We've killed tens of thousands of Al Qaeda, but they're more powerful than ever. They're quite literally running a country and kicked us out of the country. Us, the most powerful military in the world, had to leave in the dark of night because we were afraid. Like, I don't know what the answer is.
I don't know, but it's a bit. The whole thing's a big problem. Big fucking no.
Yes,
I'm not saying.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not trying to simplify.
Wow.
Isn't that
great point? Yeah.
No, I don't know.
We need new.
You need to exterminate.
We need young. I mean, my
You're not
first
the education though, there, Bronny. You're not going to change the mentality there. It's never happening. That's wishful thinking. It's never ever going to happen.
But think about like how much better we are now in our country than we were 100 years ago. About
we're a different
but like our
country
views on black people, right? Like in this country, are like night and day, no pun intended. Now than they were 100 years ago.
Which one's night? Which one's day?
Like we literally, not we because we weren't in this country at that time, but like white people in America literally used to view black people as property, subhuman, 3/5 of a person for the law, all this shit.
Terrible.
Now it's like that's not even a question at all, right?
Correct.
So, and that happened within 2 generations, 3 generations.
Okay.
So it's like that can happen.
Okay.
We used to literally, not we, white people in America used to literally own them. And now it's like they're completely equal within the eyes of the law. So that's even a more drastic social change in a view of towards another person than it is in Israel and Palestine.
The democracy, education, the way things spread, it's very different than what, we're not teaching people at the age of 2 to hate Jews, blacks, and gays. It's a little bit different. I think you're dealing with a mentality that's like that white Aryan race group. It's such a cancer, disgusting belief that America, which has due process, has liberties, has freedom, it has rights, it has
But there wasn't
protection.
those to black people at the time they became free.
But there still were, I know, but there still were liberties and freedoms like that America was based upon, that people have grown and did good. The Islamic movement of Hamas, not all Islam. That's not what I'm saying. It's a different promote. It's a hatred. It's promote extinction. It's a different belief and the teachings and the ignorance, and it's not, even for example, America going to war, even Americans know that there's even like thieves, people in jail, there's a code, like you don't rape children or do certain things, right? Even America wouldn't hide under a hospital of their own people or a school of their own people. there's a sickness and an evilness that I don't know if you're
Yeah,
going
but
to
do you
change
think
it.
that like, I agree, but do you think like that's not a born trait? That's a taught trait.
Correct, but
So
but
if you
have
if
to have
you
a
get
feeling.
in before the taught,
How are you getting in before that is what I'm trying to get
I don't
at.
know. But
I don't
that's
know either.
that's the only way to do it.
Or
is to
extinction, or
reprogram.
extinction. I don't think
But
you're gonna
that's
reprogram.
not. That's just as bad of a mindset as you saying they are evil. They have no hope. Right? You're saying these people view the hatred that they have. It's horrendous that they have this hatred for another. But we should just exterminate
but
them.
I don't have hatred.
But
No,
that's
but I don't-
just as. It's not hatred.
No.
It's just as bad.
Okay.
It's just as
I
wrong.
get it.
You're saying
get-
Americans have this ideal. There's a code amongst even prisoners in America. That, what you just said, is antithetical to all of that code. It's exactly equally as wrong as they are wrong.
I understand what you're saying. I just don't think there's going to ever be.
And you don't solve two wrongs with a right.
Sometimes
Or you don't
two wrongs
solve.
do-
You don't
sometimes-
make a right by keep doing wrong.
Sometimes two wrongs do make a right.
When? Give me an example.
Saying sometimes it does. I
But
think
how?
sometimes you need to. It's just you need to move on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. But you. Right. But you're thinking that the world is Jonathan Bloom.
And I'm not saying no. And
Because
listen,
let's say
and
that
I'm
happens.
not saying all Muslims are Palestinian. That's not what I'm saying.
All Muslims are
Meaning-
Palestinian.
No, I'm
That's
not
what you
saying
meant to
kill
say.
all Muslims or Palestinians. That's not what I'm saying.
So who are you trying to exterminate?
I just think that that people that are trying to I don't
You
know.
said exterminate them and start fresh.
No, but
So who? If it's not all Palestinians, it's not all Muslims, then
it's
who?
not all Palestinians,
Then who are we
because
starting fresh from?
I-
Everyone who hates Israel? How do you determine that?
Yeah, that's a tough call. It's a tough call. It is. I don't know I don't know the answer to it. I don't know.
Like when you say exterminate them, then we can start.
I'm just saying in a perfect world, like it'd
But
be
that's
nice
not.
to
No,
know.
but that's
I know
not
it's
because
not. I know
if
it's
you
not.
like you say, then we can start new, and then like now
I
we're
know
new.
it doesn't
but,
work.
But if that happened, yeah, sure, you could start new, and you might be like, okay, yep, let's move on, right? You even said move on, and then we can move on. But that will only make Iran feel worse, Pakistan feel worse, Saudi Arabia worse, Qatar worse.
I know,
Egypt
but
worse.
Iran and
so
all
it's like you
I
can't
get it.
exterminate all of
No,
them.
I get it, but Iran is the one doing this.
Okay, so
So-
now you exterminate one,
I
then
don't
do you have to go up a
I don't
level
know.
and exterminate the other?
I think you
and
have
now
to-
you're talking about
it's
worldwide
like
genocide.
It's like the drug
right?
lords, you know. It's like you get the local drug dealers, but you really got to go where the fucking source is, the main drug dealer,
Right, and when
the
you
supplier.
right, and every single time that's happened in American criminal history, every single time they've taken out a leader of a drug lord, it's become way worse because at least the leader, we knew who they were. We had a semblance of we knew what was going on. We could work within this realm. Every single time a mob boss has taken out, perfect example, when we were about to go to Mexico, remember in January when we were going to Mexico, and we were like, oh shit, we can't go because there's now a cartel war. The reason why that happened was because the head honcho got taken out by the CIA, and then there was a power vacuum, and so everyone below was fighting for that head spot. And there was literally a war, and tens of thousands of innocents died. But if we kept that head honcho in, those people would not have died. And then you don't know what's worse after. We didn't like the government in Cuba.
So you're saying devil you know is better than devil you don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
No, Bronny, I get it, but it's the bad system. I mean, it's a bad
Yeah, but
situation.
doing like horrendous things isn't going to fix a bad system, in my opinion. Extermination, like that's just never been a good idea. Give me if you could provide me with an example where that's been positive, then maybe I'll. But there's just no evidence.
I don't know the answer.
It's what Hitler was saying in 1942.
No, it's not.
Our
It's not.
country has fallen to shit. They're the problem.
No.
We need to get rid of them, and then we can start fresh.
Because the Jews weren't the problem with the Germans. He wanted a one world order.
But that's what they believed.
No, but Hitler is the equivalent of Hamas. That's the difference. It's not.
To
it's
you.
not to the reality.
No, and
It's the
people in
reality.
Palestine view Netanyahu and Israel as Nazis that are
I
enslaving
get it, but
them.
they're wrong. Just like
Okay,
listen,
but it doesn't
just
matter.
like the Nazi regime thought Hitler was great. They're wrong. It does
Right,
matter.
but it doesn't matter because
It does matter because you need to take
because
out.
history is written by the victors. If Nazis won, If the Nazis won it and we lived in a world where the Nazis controlled the whole
still
world,
means they're wrong.
They would be the right people.
No, they're
and
not.
The history books would teach that America was evil. The history books would teach that the Jews were the problem. That's how it is. I agree with you morally.
They're wrong. If Hitler were to win, they're still wrong.
Morally, maybe.
No, they're wrong. We're not about who the victors are. They're wrong.
So what do you mean wrong? Morally or literally?
In every aspect of doing what they did, they're wrong. If they won because they had a stronger power system in place, doesn't mean they're correct. They're wrong.
For that worldview, yes, it does that. To your worldview, they're wrong.
No, because they would have had strength in the numbers.
Right, but what I'm saying is they feel like they are right. And so therefore they are right in their worldview.
Okay,
your
worldview is a rapist who feels that he has the right because people tell him to do it in his brain.
No, but if 99% of the world were sociopaths, then that's the right way.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
That's just a fundamental philosophical thing.
I get it. It's philosophical, but I don't agree with you.
If the whole world was American ideals and values, and there were like 7 people in China that were like, no, we need to do the Chinese way, we'd be like, no, your way's wrong. Our way's right. Look, we're all doing it this way. Right?
But the difference is that if for example, if you're harming people, right, just because you think your way is better, you're wrong.
To you.
No, period.
Why?
Period.
We harm people in this country because we think it's the right way.
No,
we do that all the time.
No, but we're not. There's a retaliatory act you do as opposed to let's say,
but see now you're doing but this, and it's like because we've established those rules.
No,
but if we lived in a different society with different rules, we would have different things. Exactly because it's our worldview.
No, but there's also
in Hamas in Palestine. And in Gaza, they have their own worldview.
The Quran, if you do these individual bombers and you go in and you kill,
that is right to them. Not only is it right, it's righteous. It's what God wants you to do.
No,
to them, it is full.
It's just a taught ignorant behavior.
Everything is a taught behavior.
Yeah, but you understand there is a certain a human being should, although they don't, obviously have some sort of compassion, or that sixth sense you feel it.
Sure, but that goes out the window in certain instances, even for you. If someone came and tried to kill me, you're like, okay, your life's over, motherfucker.
Right, but I'm not going to go kill them out of the blue. Right, there's the difference.
No, but if you think that they're going to come kill me, you're going to go kill them. And so that you saying, like, right, there's certain sixth sense things, right? Like I was alluding to. Like killing is wrong, right? That's something we agree is a moral thing that you probably think we are born with that moral belief, right? Or do you think we're taught that? Either way, my point still holds up. But
I'm with you.
Even if you think we're born with that, so you hold that as a value of yourself. That isn't always applicable to you. Yes, you believe it, but there are certain instances where you are justified to break the rule.
There's exceptions.
And so, right, that's your... It's like
my code of conduct.
You're right. And so that's personal to you. So then if you have a personal exceptions to what's right or wrong, and you view all of your exceptions as correct because they're yours, then why someone else that does that, they have certain rules, but they have right and wrong exceptions, and those are to them. Why is yours right and theirs is wrong? Theirs is right to them, and yours is right to you.
Theirs is wrong. Theirs
is wrong to you.
Is wrong. No, period.
Why? Based on what?
Because
on whose authority?
They're harming their own people and their own culture. They are.
But whose authority is that wrong?
The people. I got the majority of the people there that don't want any part of it.
What if they did then? Like, what if they did? Then are they still wrong? And everyone was like,
they're wrong.
Like Jonestown, all the people who were in the cult who took the Kool-Aid and were like, we know we're going to die.
They're wrong.
Why? They wanted to do it.
No, because don't you say
it's in their worldview, it's right.
No, because listen,
and not only right, it's righteous. It's what they need to do.
Because they are weak people who are led and conditioned for something that is not in a. When you look at the totality of civilization, there is a general part of all civilization, all different cultures, where there are certain, for the most part, knowing what's right and wrong.
But also every single civilization, I agree. but every single civilization is built on wrongness. British came to this country, and in order to establish what we view as the ideals, the moral ideals of America, that we have fairness and justice and equality and liberty, we had to just kill millions of people to do it. Right? Like, that's an extreme wrong that the Native Americans would look at us and be like, you guys were mass murderer, wrong people. Now, all of a sudden, you're like, we're righteous and justified. It's like,
no.
Sometimes to get to the right, you have to commit a lot of wrongs.
That's a very different issue.
But what if Hamas now is in their colonial America?
But but the difference is,
like, who are you to determine that they're wrong?
I'm John Bloom. I can determine anything I want.
But then when the natives did it to Americans, we were like, no, the Americans were right. They were building a country.
We all know. No, listen for a second. All I could talk about is where we're at now and how human beings, forget about America, human beings have grown. Our culture, I mean, the universe, the Earth culture, right? What goes on?
There isn't an Earth culture.
Meaning,
like human nature.
Human nature, okay? And certain things about civilization. And even though they're like when you went to Japan, it's a very different culture, but there still is a certain underlying code that a human being, for the most part, knows right from wrong.
But there are exceptions to that. When a bad guy,
Let me finish.
Right?
Let me finish. There's always exceptions. But we know that when you look at doing certain acts, they're wrong. Like 9/11. Okay, when they did that 9/11, they felt they were right? Doing whatever the terrorist attack.
Right.
But we know they're wrong.
But what about
about
when we bombed Hiroshima with the nuclear bomb? We bombed Japan, killed tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands in a second. Innocents. Was that wrong?
Okay, I don't know why they did it.
We felt as Americans justified in doing that because we were in a war. And we said, this will stop the war. We need to do this because we need to show our strength. And these are our enemies. And so we need to strike our enemies and stop the war. Is that justified?
Look,
or are we terrorists?
Okay, I don't.
Because Al-Qaeda, who did 9/11, it's the exact same idea. They were like, we are at war with America. We need to strike them where it hurts. We need to take out as many innocent people as possible to show them our strength.
Okay, but
we, being on the receiving end, go, oh my God, they're terrorists. They're evil. But them, no, they're like, no, the Americans are the evil one. We're at war with them.
With Hiroshima, was it a true war? Everyone knew that the two were at war.
Yeah. Japan it's World War II, Japan and America.
Right. So, but here,
we were at a full war.
But here you have where there's like this peace and there's this whole thing of peace, and all of a sudden out of the blue 9/11 happens. That's wrong. That's a little bit different. Or when people from Gaza are coming into Israel,
there wasn't peace in 9/11, before 9/11, or before October 7th.
That's not true. That's not true. There was a common understanding.
You were just unaware of it then, because we were fighting. The reason why Bin Laden struck the Twin Towers, you can read it. We talked about it in a couple of episodes ago. That letter to America that all the TikTok girls are now reading. He says, American soldiers are in our country, killing our people. And we do not want this. We did not ask for it. We do not want this. And so we are going to attack on American soil, just like you guys are attacking us on ours.
Okay,
so it wasn't peace. You were unaware of it. 9/11 brought it to the forefront. Just like there wasn't peace between Israel and Palestine. We know this. There were bombs going over and over every day.
But it's a little bit different.
I know, but it wasn't peace.
Okay, listen. I don't know what the right answer is, but I think that if, again, them or us, let it be them.
Right. So you're right when it's against you.
No, I know.
It's wrong to kill unless it's against me.
You know, Bronson, you know what's right and what's wrong. You know what's right and wrong. You know what happened, what they did to Israel with the hostages and killing these.
Of course.
Burning.
I'm just trying to talk about a big, more.
All right, but that's wrong. And I don't think you're going to change that.
No, I agree it's wrong. I'm just saying they don't think that.
I get it, but I don't care what they... No, it's not important. No, it's not. It's not important.
Because
It's not important at all.
Of course it is.
Don't you say it does not matter?
Oh, it certainly does.
It does not matter. It does not matter to me if they think they're correct or not. If they think they're justified in their actions. That has no bearing, no relevance, anything as to whether it's right or wrong.
Okay.
Period.
Okay, I disagree, but
Okay, that's period.
What about like
Their perception of what they're doing is correct by burning babies and burning grandmothers and raping women and doing that because they think it's justified.
America's done all those things.
Listen,
Just
is
so you know,
irrelevant. Is irrelevant to whether it's right or wrong.
What about
Now,
like
if American soldiers did do that, okay, and they're wrong.
right? But should we eliminate them?
No, they're wrong. If somebody burns,
when we were in Vietnam, we did that. We burned kids, we raped women.
Yes, they should be eliminated. That's an evil person. We talked about it. If they're raping women, they're
Like that
evil.
person, or you said eliminate
That
them all.
person.
Right? But when you're saying eliminate them, you don't mean that person. You're talking a more general thing.
I don't want anyone that is Palestinian or Muslim that doesn't support Hamas ideology.
But what if they still think Israel is evil? What if they're not Hamas, but they're like, yeah, Israel's evil because they've been...
Well, they can think Israel's evil because I don't need people to like Jews. That's not what I'm saying.
I think China's evil.
Listen.
But China shouldn't eliminate me.
Correct. No, listen, I don't care if someone hates a Jew. It doesn't matter to me. They're allowed their opinion. I think they're allowed their opinion. The difference is if someone says they need to be annihilated. I don't think China should be dead.
I think the Chinese government should be eradicated. It should not
and I
exist.
think our American government should be eradicated.
No, but a bigger step.
You understand what
than
I'm
just
trying to
being
say.
like we need a new leader. I think the Chinese people there needs to be serious changes in that country.
Okay.
And I bet a lot of Palestinians feel that way about Israel. Feel there need to be serious changes in the government of Israel. This government is bad, wrong for the world.
Okay, they're allowed that opinion. I don't.
Yeah.
Listen.
I guess
don't-
it's if you want to take action.
Listen,
If
I don't-
I'm trying to go send bombs into China,
Listen.
then China has more justification to eradicate me.
Okay.
Right?
I
Or
don't.
you didn't listen to that.
I did listen. You just interrupt. I hear you.
No, I didn't interrupt you. I was still talking.
Okay. I don't think if you want to harm China, the government, they have a right to eradicate you.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If you're a threat to the Chinese government, you're a threat to them. Yeah, then
That's what I just said.
Go ahead and eradicate you.
Right. That's what I was.
Right.
I
I'm
was
agreeing with you.
making
on
that realization.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. Because that's what people in Palestine are doing to Israel.
Listen.
But then to say, yeah, there's some people in America that are like taking action in China because they don't like what's going on. So China should eradicate America. That's when it's like, no, now you're wrong.
Look,
Which is the same idea.
the thing is, these other countries don't want the American ideology. They don't want the Western civilization. They don't want capitalism. They don't want it. They want to harm America.
But we don't want theirs. We don't want Russian. We don't want Chinese.
We're not looking to harm them. We're like, we don't listen. No, Bronson.
We're kind of looking to harm China.
Let me finish a second. China is a threat, and we know what they want to do to America. So therefore, we have to keep them in the forefront.
But you don't see how you're justifying. You don't think China thinks America's a threat. So we need to. You don't think that? That's why they don't like us, because we're a threat. They don't like our way of life because it's a threat to theirs. Like that's the same idea of the right or wrong, but not for me.
I don't agree with you on that. I don't agree with you on that.
So you think they hate the American way of life, so they're wrong in trying to get rid of us. We don't like the Chinese way of life, but we're justified in doing it because they're a threat to us.
But no, because we're not harming China.
What? How do
we
you
are
know?
not physically doing anything to China.
China's not physically harming us.
China is very calculated in what they're doing.
Like spy stuff and that. But you said physically harming.
Okay.
You don't think we're doing that there? Trying to eradicate from within?
No, I don't think we are trying to eradicate China. I don't think we are. I don't think
We've
in
been
today's
since
day and
the
age,
60s.
I don't think today's day and age America's
Since the
going
80s.
in and taking over like what Russia's doing with Hungary,
Ukraine, you mean?
Ukraine, I meant what China's doing with what they want to do is Taiwan,
Yeah.
right? America's not going in and say we're going to take over Canada, we're going to take over this state. We're not doing that. We have a different ideology that works. It's the powerhouse, so to speak, of the entire all the countries, and well, it was. But my point is, we're not going in and doing these things. We're
No, but we
it's a
kind
big-
of are.
No, we're not kind
Do
of.
you
are.
think
It's
that
different. we're not
wait,
going? And
Do you
doing
think that we are involved in the Ukraine-Russia war? America.
we are? Because the answer but we're
Why? Why are we involved?
Because we
if we don't want them to be on our team.
we as the leader have to support the underdog and not.
The only reason why we're doing that is because we want them on our team. Russia wants them on their team. That's all it is.
I don't think we care if we have Ukraine on our team.
That's the only reason why we're giving billions of dollars to them. Is because we're like, we need them to be with us. We want them to be in the EU. We want them to be in NATO, which we run. And Russia says, no, we want them to be in our conferences, in our communities, with our government.
We are.
We're not fighting them because ideologically
we're
we
not.
need to stop bad guys. No, we want money and power.
No, but we're not fighting the Ukraine war really for the benefit. We want them as our ally. We're fighting because we don't want Russia to have it. There's a difference. There is a difference, Brian.
But if Ukraine started, which this happened, Ukraine had a president before Zelensky, 2 presidents before Zelensky, that was very pro-Putin. Buddy was with Putin. Their diplomacy was getting closer and closer, and we kicked him out. America. We went into their elections. We meddled with their shit. We put propaganda, and we kicked him out and put a guy in that was more sympathetic to us. So we're not in Ukraine.
Sympathetic or anti-Russia, but there's a difference.
Just pro-America, being like, we don't want Putin. We're the previous, right, but that's not our place. If we just are there to be like, we just want Ukraine to be
don't you understand that? Listen, Bronson, there's a difference saying we don't want Russia to grow and have larger territory. That's different than saying we want allies of America. There's a difference.
But we put someone in.
You understand there's a difference, though?
Sure. So then I'm saying both, which is, and then I guess I'm saying we do both. Taiwan is another example. Taiwan used to be part of China. China used to own that land. They don't anymore. And America, the only reason we are very strongly on the side of we don't want China to get Taiwan, which we've talked about this,
why?
Is they have
The
all of
ports.
all of the microchips in the world are made in Taiwan. And we use microchips in every single thing that we do.
But isn't it also because the ports?
No, that's Ukraine.
Okay.
Taiwan makes all the microchips. There's no other benefit to Taiwan. There's no natural resources. There's not even that many people. There's nothing. Oil, gold, nothing. Their economy is probably smaller than South Florida's economy, except for the microchips. They make all of them. And we make most of our money on technology and electronics. So if China gets Taiwan, we're fucked. So the only reason we're taking a strong stance in Taiwan is ours, we want Taiwan, is because we want them to be in our circle, because then we benefit. If they're in China's circle, we don't benefit, but China does. So you don't think in China's eyes, where the Russia and Taiwan is Ukraine? Taiwan used to be part of China. Now there's this foreign government from across the sea that's like, no, you guys are ours now. We're sending our government officials to go hang out with theirs. If I was in China and I was Chinese, I would be like, the fuck? You guys have no justification to this. They're Chinese. The capital of Taiwan is called China, or the other name for it is called Chinese Taipei. It's not called American Taipei, right? Like, if I was Chinese, I would view us as the bad guys. The fuck are you guys doing in the South China Sea, trying to establish an allyship with a ex-Chinese country?
Look,
the only reason is for money.
Okay, but these countries, Russia and probably more China, the people.
And I'm not justifying Russia and China's actions. I'm just saying there's a lot more that goes into these things, and we are also bad to America.
I'm sure we are, but I'd rather still be America.
Right, and so that's how we got into this, is we were debating right or wrong, and you were like, there are just clear morals of right or wrong, and I was like,
no,
yeah,
but
to
no,
you.
No, that's no. What I'm saying is, we know, people know, even if you were in China or Russia, if you burn a baby or rape a woman, anyone in any particular country that has any sliver of a moral compass knows it's wrong.
Yes.
That's wrong.
But we justify
There are-
our wrongs.
No, listen,
then
listen.
I guess is
Okay,
what I'm trying
that's
to
a whole different issue. But my point is, we know what's wrong. Now, do people do bad things? Absolutely.
Even when they know things are wrong.
Listen, but the point is, we still know that to do that, even in war, is wrong. Period. And if
but
Americans
it's justified, right? And so like that's like Hamas is doing wrong things, and they probably also think, "Damn, I can't believe we're forced to do this." You know, like that's
I don't
how
know
they
if
think.
I agree with you on that. I think that they do it willingly with pleasure. I disagree. Since they're 2 years old, they're taught such hatred. It's different. Don't you think it's a different thing? So I don't agree with you. I think that you're not going to change that. Maybe 2 or 3 generations. I hope you're right. I won't be around to see it, but I don't think that will happen. I just don't think. I think that if America continues on this path of weakness and not using their strength, because that's what you need. Sometimes, remember I said in a couple of podcasts, you have to rule with an iron fist. Sometimes you just have to do that. You can earn respect, or you can gain. You can like sort of acquire, purchase it, so to speak. And by the one who's stronger, if you can't get it the other way because of people that are ignorant.
But it hasn't worked out for us in the past, America. Every time America has flexed its strength to be like, hey, you guys better fucking follow us, we've created enemies.
I think you're going to create enemies no matter what. I think that's when you're the
but none of them have earned our respect.
But when you're the leader of the free world, so to speak, which people want to take down, I think you're always going to have enemies. That's just my opinion.
But
it's a bad
any
system.
of those people, like you said, you either like it's all for getting respect.
But
we don't have the respect of anyone in the world.
No, but well, I don't know.
Except our friends that we've never had to flex on. Every country that we've had to flex on, Russia, since the Cold War, one of our biggest enemies, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, China, Vietnam, every war that we fought.
There still is a fear factor because the extent of a large war kind of thing, I think that there is still of a fear factor that America still has the strongest army. I think there is that
sure, but that's
factor.
not. There's no respect with that.
Okay,
they don't respect us.
Work. My point is fear to keep people in check.
But that's what creates, like having fear for a power.
Sometimes
is what creates.
Well, it works in
terrorists.
Russia. It works in Russia and Poland and Russia and China, no problem.
Yeah, but do you want to be like Russia and China?
No, but you're talking about these places. These people are fucking probably miserable. They don't even know they're fucking miserable.
But saying I'm trying to prove this point by saying Russia and China do it, like we're not like them. They're wrong, according to your right.
They're wrong. Period.
So
they're wrong.
So if you're saying Russia and China strike fear into their people and they do it well, then we don't want to follow in those footsteps.
We're not striking fear into our people,
into others.
We're into another country that if there's a threat to us, they need to know that there's going to be retaliation and problems. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hamas isn't a threat to us. It's a threat to Israel, which includes us,
me and you.
It's
a 100% threat to America.
But to the bigger America.
It is a 100% threat. 100% because Hamas, is a small portion of Iran, and Iran is a threat.
Iran is a threat to America, 100%. And Iran has backs Hamas,
if I'm telling you my kids what to do, and my kids go out and commit the activity, that means I'm a threat because I'm using you as the pups to do it. You're the weapon.
Sure.
Iran is still the problem, and they're a threat. And if we don't flex more and we don't show that we're stronger, it's going to be a problem for Americans.
Yeah, that might be the option.
Well, I don't.
The last times we've done that, it's worked horribly in our favors, or horribly against us. That's why I worry. Except in Japan.
I don't know what the answer is.
Japan, the bombing on Hiroshima was strictly just a flex of power, and it brought an end to World War II. Quite literally brought an end to World War II. And then established peace there was really good peace in the world post-World War II from the 40s to the 60s, so 22 decades of...
It's not a long time.
No, but that's the longest the modern world has ever not had a peace, or the longest that the modern world has had peace.
It's terrible.
We really went from the 40s, the late 40s, and then all the 50s. We're pretty good with world, like Europe and America.
It's so sad, honestly.
But then the 60s, we had the 60s too, but then the 70s, we had Vietnam, then Korea.
It's so sad that people just have such fucking hatred for no reason.
It's
no
human nature.
reason.
It's just, it is what it is. We have it too in America.
Okay, but
we hate China. We hate Russia.
But-
Irrationally. We hate Iraq,
I don't.
And that stuff's taught to us.
I don't.
A kid isn't born with a fear of Russia.
I don't think America I don't hate Russia.
No, but Russia not anymore. But in the 80s, Dad,
I don't even listen.
in the 80s, every American they were thinking
It was
about Russia every
America
day.
versus Russia, yes.
Right. And it was just a thing. If you're American, you are anti-Russia. They're the evil, commie, bad guys. They were like a comic book villain, how we portrayed them. It was such a comic or caricature, of what a Russian was. And most of the Russians weren't that. They were just normal people. But in America, we were taught, I wasn't around in the 80s, but I think you were right. I'm saying accurate stuff.
Yep.
They were just
Every
unequivocally
movie
the bad guy.
The Russian was the bad guy.
And we cheered at their deaths. When you watched 80s movies, they would just kill off Russians and whatever, and you were like, fuck yeah. And so we're taught that stuff. And that's what these other people are taught about us.
Yeah, but I think Americans and other cultures and countries that have a more of a Western civilization or a certain simpler ideology, like you take these Norwegian countries, Swedish countries, whatever. I just don't think that.
Wait, what do you mean? What about this Scandinavian culture?
They're not sitting there saying war. They're not sitting there with hatred. I just don't think that. I think that there are certain countries that.
Yeah, but I think maybe it's.
Let me finish. There are certain countries that haven't grown, that still remain ignorant, and unfortunately, it's a lot of these Middle Eastern countries that just want world domination. That's the fucking problem. I think other countries are just like, look, live, whether it's Australia, live and let live, do our thing, whatever. I think that it's just that, we as human beings across the world have grown. We've evolved significantly with compassion. We evolved in education. We evolved with knowledge. We evolved with social media. We're seeing what's going on. We just evolved as human beings. I think that the world, for the most part, although things are fucking crazy, the human being has grown to be more like what you have to say, to listen more, to maybe be more compassionate, to understand the other side on education. I'm not talking about school education, I'm just about education of people and so forth. I don't think these Middle Eastern countries are just anti anything other than a Middle Eastern view. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
But don't you think you were like Norway and Sweden? They are just peaceful. They don't want any war. And it's like, yeah, because no one's fighting them. I think in America, we're not that way. We're not peaceful at all in America. We have literally been in a constant war since 1960 something. We went straight from Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq, Gulf War, now Ukraine. Wait, Dad, let me, because I didn't get to my main point. So we're not one of those countries. We're not peace because people want what we have. So we have to fight. And in the Middle East, they weren't a crazy war player on the world stage up until oil became a thing. And then ever since then, the whole world has fought wars over the Middle East because there's stuff that people want there. So we bring wars there. No one wants anything in Norway. So Norway can be a peaceful nation because no one is at their doorstep asking them to fight. America cannot be a peaceful nation because there are constantly people at our doorstep who will knock it down if we let them. Norway doesn't have that problem. The Middle East has that problem. If they just roll over, their countries will be completely eliminated. And that literally the war in Iraq that Bush put us into, they said, we are going in. This is now all fact. This isn't a conspiracy theory. He said, we are going in to fight this war because they have weapons of mass destruction. Remember, that was a whole thing 2003 or whatever. Weapons of mass destruction that we need to get rid of. That was all a lie. The only reason we went to fight in Iraq was because we wanted their oil. And so we needed a scam to convince people to go do it, but we just wanted oil. So I think it's unfair to be like, they're just a nation of savages. It's like maybe, but also maybe they're forced into being savages. The whole Middle East, not savages, but they're forced into being militaristic and violent because everyone in the world is fucking in their shit, just rummaging around, trying to get shit for themselves. That's not a problem in Sweden. People are not rummaging around in Sweden. And I think if they were, Swedes would be pretty fucking aggressive.
All right. So I'm talking in general terms of the people in these particular countries.
Right, same.
No, let me finish. I don't think Americans, now we are at war, unfortunately. We're always doing the war thing. I understand that you said talk about the economic component of it and our government, but the general people of all the billions of people are there billions in America? How many?
330 million.
Okay, so of the 300-something million people in America,
380 million.
Most people don't want war. Most people don't want war. Okay, I don't. That's my opinion on it. Now, forget that we are at war. Forget what the government wants to do. But most people living in their life, like I think most people in Israel, most people in you're talking Qatar. They have more money than God. So I don't know what But my point is
right, exactly.
Right, but listen, I think most people in certain cultures just want to live their life and don't want war. I do think certain countries in certain Middle Eastern countries just want to make America extinct and want it their way and only their way. Now we know in most normal civilized countries, I think, and I would say America is one of them. Every country has their way, and they have their way, and it works. But Sweden, America, whatever other countries, Norway, Australia, not saying you must follow our way, otherwise we want you eradicated. I think that
we're not doing that now. You were.
Okay. But Brian, I'm just talking about we've grown as people, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is I think that we have these Middle Eastern countries that are very toxic, very dangerous, unstable, that are so ignorant and fucked up. They want in 2023 and 2024, they want it their way for the whole world. If you're not agreeing with us on everything, you're against us.
America feels that way, Dad. America as not the individuals.
No, you understand what I'm trying to say?
The culture of America, the government of America, the
I don't agree
thing
with
of it's the Ukraine argument. It's we want Ukraine like us, and so we're going to make them part of NATO because we do not want them like Russia. Meanwhile, Russia.
Go ahead, Ronnie. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, Russia is saying no. We want Ukraine like us. Why are you coming in and making them part of your organization? They're part of us. So now we are going to fight you. And it's a war. The Ukraine war is a war over, we call it sphere of influence, but it's a war of our way or the highway. And that's the same way the Middle East is saying, we want the whole world to be like us. We want the whole world to be westernized.
I don't agree. No, I don't agree.
We've gone and fought wars over installing democratic governments in other countries.
Because what's happening is because if innocent people are being killed by these fucking mob-like bullies, thugs, we as Americans, okay,
want it our way.
Listen, have to protect those who need protection.
That's saying we want the world to be like us.
We do know a democracy which gives people rights. For example, where women got to walk around with fucking masks on, or they can't do this, or the men can do what they want. They can rape women and children, do what they want to do. Yeah, we as people have to stand up and protect those who need help. Listen, for a second. That's how I think we need to be. Just like I tell you, if you see somebody being picked on, you stand up for that person who needs the help. We have to help, and if we know that their way of raping and pillaging and destroying and not in Palestine, not using them as shields, hiding under schools, whatever. We as America need to sort of free and liberate people so they could be equals.
And like us.
Okay, but it works.
The word liberate is our word, liberty.
But it works. Because no human being, because you should not have, is any different than, for example, you can have, let's say Russia, I'm just using for analogy, and I'm not saying this is accurate. Says we believe in human trafficking. We believe that children and young girls and all should be used as sex slaves. Okay. And it's legal in Russia. Well, I got to tell you something. If we know it's the case, America won't stand for that. There's something that's
we're now going to go make Russia more like us.
Protect those who need protection.
Sure, which is what we want in the world, our ideals.
No, what is right.
According to who? Us.
No, which is because if somebody is doing something against their own free fucking will and they don't want to do it, it's wrong. Don't you see the difference? Not because of the American views.
But what about live and let live?
It's wrong. Because
if someone else lives in another country, who are we to?
Because if these people can't fend for themselves and don't have the freedoms and are being raped and pillaged and whatever it is, it's 100% for whoever the superior personers of power is to protect those who can't protect themselves. That's what we as America believe, and that's what human beings. Because I'll tell you something: if you went
but you're not doing anything about it. You're entrusting the American government, which you think is bad, wrong, corrupt, and evil.
I'm not talking.
So where do we?
I'm talking about ideology. I'm not talking about.
I know, but it does end up happening. But if we go into Russia to do this, you're being told, like, you don't know for a fact that there are. Right, like this is what happened with the weapons of mass destruction. You didn't know that there were weapons of mass destruction there. Your government told you, and so you said, okay. And they went in and fought a war that if you really knew what it was about, you would have been against it.
We do know in the Middle East how in Palestine, to where women and children are treated very differently. We do know that people are being held against what they really want to do. We know they have no way out. We know there's no equality. We know there's no due process. We know there are major fucking problems, and it is like a fucking catastrophic third world fucking free fall.
So you think that justifies America?
And how is it working out for these people?
Sure, but that's a different question. But so those issues, those issues that justifies America's involvement. To me, I think America should get involved because our ally Israel is at stake. But if that was off the table, it's a whole different story for me. If Israel didn't exist and Hamas still ruled Gaza, I would be on the side of we should have nothing to do as America with that area. Just like I thought we should have nothing to do with Ukraine.
I hear you, but this started from right or wrong, and I'm just telling you that's where I think that I'm just trying to make a separation.
I know, but I'm just trying to get my points.
Right, but I understand your points, but I think this started with the right or wrong, and you're like, how do you know what's right or wrong? They think it's right, and I'm saying, no, when someone is doing something against their own free will, it's wrong.
Sure. But then to take the step and say, I need to now intervene to make it right. Well, I don't know if you always have the position to do that.
I know that.
But you're arguing that America always has the position to do that.
I'm saying that, no,
And I'm saying I don't think we do.
Try to help. I agree, not all the time, but we should. If we're in a position to help, we should help. Now, again, it's done on a case by case. In fact,
where have we really helped?
Fact by fact,
that we've intervened.
Basis. But and this all started from the Middle Eastern view of these countries that are very toxic and evil. They're a problem. They're a problem to America.
They're a problem to our
if they're a threat to America and the world, because they won't just stop with America. If it's a threat to the world, they need to be stopped. You don't, if you know you have a cancerous cell, or you go to dermatologist, you have a precancerous cell, you get that cell taken out. You don't wait till it fucking spreads and metastasizes all over your body where it's too late. That's what you do. It's called being proactive rather than reactive.
Totally. I agree with that.
I'm not saying it's a clear-cut answer, but from an ideology, that's what makes sense.
Yeah. I completely agree with that metaphor. And so you view Iran as the cancer cell in the body of the world.
Correct.
Iran equally views America as the cancer cell in the body of the world.
I don't care.
I know.
But there's a difference, though. Don't you say that? I know what their view is. I understand what their view is. Just like someone that says, I'm a bomber, I'm going to put on a vest because under the Quran, I'm going to heaven and I'm going to blow up all the school. Okay, just because they think they're right doesn't mean, but they're wrong. They are wrong. That's a clear-cut wrong. They might think they're right is irrelevant. If someone says, I hear voices telling me what to do to rape that person, and they truly believe they were told to rape that person, they think in their mind they're right. But we know they're wrong. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I understand your analogy. You're saying, but Dad, in their mind, they think they're correct. I get in their mind. I don't think they're saying, you know what, I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. No, they're sick fucks. They're just our evil, sick, toxic people in this world, unfortunately, more than I would like. But they're wrong.
I know, but they view us as the evil, sick, toxic
I don't care what they view us. I know that they're wrong.
Okay, I know, but they know that you're wrong.
Okay. No, but they're not. But we're not
they know.
wrong.
But they know.
But we're not wrong.
We know that we're not, and they know that they're not.
So if we're at a stalemate, then you know what? Then they need to be killed.
Okay.
Period. if they're going to harm us, I'm not saying this is not a Palestinian Muslim that they should be
No,
killing.
we barely are talking about Israel Hamas right now.
I just want to say,
We're talking about world ideology.
I'm not saying any person, if you're a Muslim or Palestinian, I don't want any harm coming to anyone. But if you want harm to Jews or Americans just because how they're born, that's the only reason and their views are different. Like if you say, I don't agree with their religious views. I want all Jews and all Americans killed, or I want all lesbians and gays killed, or all blacks killed. I'm sorry. I think you should be killed.
I think you're painting the brush of Iranians or Palestinians too broadly. I don't think they are like, I don't think they just think, I want Americans dead because they are Americans. That's what you said. You said if you want to kill someone just because they're American, then you should be killed. I don't think
there are plenty.
I don't think
yes,
they
there
think
are,
that.
Bronson. Just like if you're a Jew, they want you dead. There are people just because you are a Jew.
No, it's because you are a Jew and Jews do this. That's what they feel. You are an American and Americans.
Bronson. Go ahead.
Yes,
Sorry.
you are American and Americans come into Afghanistan and kill all our people. That's what they feel. They don't just want to kill you because you're American,
you
period.
You understand? I don't want to kill all Palestinians and Muslims just because of what Hamas did. That's what you're saying.
But you said eliminate them.
No, I'm saying if
you said it like 7 times this podcast.
You need to listen to me, open your mind, and listen, please.
Be open my mind. I'm the one arguing against elimination.
No, but you're not even listening to what I'm saying. Listen.
Okay.
Just listen. If I said all Palestinians and Muslims should be killed, I'm wrong. I didn't say that because that's a terrible statement to say. So it's the same would work if someone says all Jews or Americans should be killed. That's wrong, right? The reason doesn't matter why they feel that way. If someone says that, it'd be a terrible to say all black Jews should die, all Jews should die. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. So I'm saying if they feel that way, the reason is irrelevant. The reason is irrelevant, right?
But you said no one. Wait.
I said what? I'm sorry.
If they feel the way of just all Americans should die, just period.
Right.
But I'm arguing I don't think they feel that way.
Okay. Yes, I do believe that there are certain, the Hamas said, give me a second, I have nothing to do with Israel, right? I'm not involved in the Gaza Strip. I know. So the fact that if they're marching the streets of America and Jews got to be afraid to walk and all that stuff going on, if they want to kill an American Jew or even an Israeli Jew just because they're a Jew, right? I don't want to kill Russians or China just because their government's bad. I don't want to kill individuals there, whatever.
But if we were in a war, like when we were in a war with Japan or like Nazi Germany, when we were in war with like the Nazis, Americans were just totally fine to just kill anyone who was like a German.
Okay.
Or anyone who was a Jap. We literally put them in camps.
I'm saying it's wrong.
It is wrong.
Listen, I'm not saying everything America does is right. I'm saying it's wrong. The difference
But we felt justified in doing it.
Maybe the soldiers did.
No, people too.
Okay, they're wrong.
Yeah.
I
agree.
didn't feel justified. I don't feel justified in killing someone because they're Muslim. But if someone says Jews should die, then yes, they should die. Not Jews.
That person.
The person saying that.
Yes.
Don't you think there's a big difference?
Wrong, 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, Hamas wants any Jew killed. They would want any black person, any gay or lesbian person. That's what they want killed.
Yeah.
The reason behind it is, don't you say, is 100% irrelevant?
Sure. When it boiled down to that sentence, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. So to me, so I don't want innocent.
And the
people.
other side, our side, does not feel that way. Blanket. If you are saying they view that way, blanket statement, all Jews should die. Period. Our side does not feel that way. So then, in that argument, there is justification that we are right and they are wrong.
Well, listen, if an American says kill all Jews or kill all black people, that's a fucked up human being and a fucked up American.
Right,
they're a waste of breath.
I'm saying you can find external validation in Israel is on the right side of this.
Israel's 100% on the right side of it.
Right, that's what I'm.
Right,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
but you can find the proof for that in Israel as a whole doesn't want to kill Gaza as a whole.
They don't want to kill people.
But Hamas as a whole does want to kill Israel as a whole.
It's a different, just like the Nazi regime. It's a different ideology.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't agree with BLM. I didn't agree with it, but I don't think BLM saying kill every white person. I don't think that's the whole ideology behind it. I don't agree with the methods. I don't agree in the destruction. I don't agree with what transpired. But I never said all black people should fucking die. Do you know what I'm saying? That it was a different movement for a different cause. It wasn't to take over. It was a movement to be.
I agree.
And there's the difference, because there's a human component. There's a human component that I think is lost in the teaching. And I agree. I don't think you're born as a Hamas person at the age of 2. You're born with the Hamas ideology. You're taught it. But it's such an ignorant, toxic, cancerous behavior. It's going to be very hard to change that without eradicating the teachers. You know what I'm trying to say? You have to have different teachers. So that's my point. I think we wrapped it up. I think good, right? Yeah. We're good on that? Yeah. All right. I love you. Are we doing a follow advice or no?
No, I guess not.
All right. Love you, everybody. Take care. Bronny, kick ass on exams. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.